twists, flips, and splits. It's one of the most popular sports of the Summer Olympics, with some of the sport's biggest stars: Simone Biles, Jordan Childs, and Suni Lee, all in Minneapolis, hoping to make Team USA in Paris.
We've held a real high standard. I mean, they're coming after us.
A high standard that is being chased by elite athletes from all over the world.
Full credit to Simone Biles and many of the other gymnasts who have come forward, spoken in testimony in Congress to push and continue to keep the pressure on to make sure that the sport is safe.
It is a rise back to prominence after a scandal that sent the sport reeling. In 2016, an explosive report claimed USA Gymnastics team doctor Larry Nassar sexually assaulted hundreds of female athletes under the guise of medical treatment, and that Olympic officials turned a blind eye to decades of abuse. Nassar is now serving out the rest of his life behind bars sentence for his crimes.
I just signed your death warrant.
The U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee, USA Gymnastics, Michigan State University, and the FBI reached settlements with Nassar survivors worth a combined $1 billion. The board of USA Gymnastics resigned in the wake of the Nassar scandal. It declared bankruptcy, and a new CEO is overseeing efforts that focus on athletes' health and safety.
The circumstances that led to my abuse and allowed it to continue are directly the result of the fact that USA Gymnastics and the United States Olympic and Paralympic Committee failed to do their jobs.
Mike Rowe, who now oversees Michigan State's gymnastics program, says the scandal could have left the sport in ruins. But today, it is now focused on supporting its athletes in and out of the arena.
For as much physical and emotional strain that they're put through in this sport, because they really don't have a social life. In the elite level, they're training twice a day, probably 4 to 5 hours a day, 6 days a week, and homeschooling, sometimes right in their club. They have school programs right inside their club.
And for the man who will be the face and voice of the NBC Olympics, Mike Tirico, he says it's the athletes who spoke up and spoke out that have made the Olympics better for all athletes.
A lot of credit to that goes right to the athletes, some of whom were involved, who want to see their sport back through this dark period to better days. There are safeguards and a safe place for these athletes who are young to have a place where they can, without worry or concern, compete.
Competing for fans and chasing gold. In East Lansing, Fred Heumann reporting.